An open letter to Ethan Ralph. I know you're reading this, Ralph. Hey, Ethan Ralph, it's me, Christorian X. Before I get into the meat of it, I'm just going to set the mask down for a few minutes and set aside any grinning and winking. I laugh at you, Ralph, and I really like doing it. You're a legitimate source of entertainment for me. Most of this comes from your refusal to ever accept any reality that disagrees with the image you're desperate to portray to the rest of the world. Like, I tell people, ask me why I follow your story. It's because, narratively speaking, you embody the literal definition of a theatrical comedy. You actively reject every naturally occurring good thing the world presents you in exchange for the most base, driven, and usually degenerate choice possible. Shakespeare would be in awe of your story. You are unmatched as a protagonist in this regard. If I were to bring this into modern times, it's like you're on a permanent casting call for Jerry Springer and Maury Povich without being aware their shows exist. This isn't kayfabe. It's not a put-on. It's a perfect collision of main character syndrome, the Streisand effect, and Napoleon complex. You're a bad guy wrestler come to life. Done right, it can be amazing, like Andy Kaufman. Unfortunately, you actually believe the character you're playing is the real you. Is it because of a steady decline in your ability to exist in and manage relationships in the outside world? Did the death of your parents send a shock to your system, forcing to the surface a giant host of unresolved issues you were never able to deal with in regards to them before they died? Have the drugs, alcohol, and sleep apnea taking their mental toll on you? Could it be all of it combined and more? Most likely. You're probably asking yourself why I'm writing all this. You're probably oscillating between anger, self-aggrandizement, and a host of other reactionary emotions. I'll cut to the chase. Up until a few months ago, this was fun. It's only gotten more fun for me, but it's been getting fucking terrible for you. I know. You're going to say you have a great life, and I'm jealous. Buddy, it's getting bad. It's getting to the point people are going to get hurt, and things are going to happen that can't be undone. You may wonder why I give a shit at all. My response is based in selfishness, both yours and mine. In the vein of my selfishness, I'm motivated to want my favorite show to stay on the air and not jump the shark. I want to see all the story arcs come to their natural and best conclusions throughout a long and well-developed story. I want to laugh at you for years to come. I want to watch you in a few years miserable at school musicals, annoying the other parents around you. I want to see you get bullied on the internet into actually marrying May when she inevitably hits her breaking point and threatens to leave and hit you with a second child support. I want to see you try and hold more ridiculous IRL events, losing your temper on Dick Masterson, staging a coup on America First, doing more smug wigger dancing, and all those great Sweeps Weeks episodes. Regarding your self-interest, I would hope it's pretty clear. You have a fiancé, 2 children, and a streaming career that is hanging by a very, very thin thread due to ever-increasing number of platforms. If Cozy AF implodes, which is becoming more and more possible by the day, your opportunity to maintain your lifestyle, doing what you do now, is very much at risk. Beyond that, look at what's happening now. You have family in your home as it's continuously swatted. You've been the target of 2 bomb threats, one of which on the literal Supreme Court stairs, assaulted multiple times, etc. It's to the point that literally everywhere you go, you're afraid and paranoid. Ralph, you're generating this. You keep threatening people. You keep trying to destroy others for an own. In short, you keep attracting and demanding negative attention. You keep up in the stakes, hoping that if you just escalate a little farther, you'll win because no one else is willing to go as low as you. Your words, Ralph. There will always be someone willing to go lower. All this brings us to today. We've finally gotten here. DEFCON 1. You're kicking open the door and literally asking for the world to come pouring in at you in any dark, terrible manner they can. Not just at you, but your family, your work, your friends. Nick is already having a bad time. I truly don't think you understand the scope of what you're saying. Again, I say this partially out of selfishness, as I don't want this great story to end in some nightmare scenario. No matter how shitty you may be, painting targets for nuclear war on yourself and family so you can justify doing that to others is not the way to go. I suppose I am writing this so that it can never be said that someone didn't directly circle, underline, and highlight this as the moment you and everyone else will look back to and say, this is what led to this horrible event. I stand firmly against swatting, violence, and most illegal acts in general. No one, even you, should have to spend every day of your life scared and afraid of what might happen next. That's not living, and it's an easy way to ruin my good time as well. Perhaps I have a darker and more malicious imagination than most. Maybe I'm just a bit more creative. So far, though, everything that's happened in this little war between you and the rest of the world is penny ante shit in the grand scheme of things. Do you know what this is, Ralph? It's a mailing list maker, Ralph. The specs you see preloaded there is a list of every residential address in a CSV format for ease of mail merges in a 1-mile radius of your current residence. For the low price of $250, someone could have a list of everyone who lives near you within a mile. Oh, and their email addresses if they want to tack on just a few bucks. Using that list and spending less than what you make in a stream or two, someone could literally mass mail the entire list with literally anything. I'll admit it very honestly, I am capable of being a really shitty and cruel person. The difference is, while I have the ability to think of shitty things, I won't actually do them. I don't endorse them or encourage them either. This isn't tongue-in-cheek. This isn't winking and nodding. This isn't me being facetious. I'm simply trying to cut through the shit and make a point here. You think you can outsmart the rest of the world? Or perhaps you tell yourself there is nothing someone could do that could deter you. I'm trying to tell you that so far, what's occurred is a tickle. Anyone with $15 and a belief that you've gone too far can pull the background report on not just you, but all your family, May, her family, her 2 siblings, her mother, father, grandparents, etc. Every time to escalate it's been proven, the world lowers itself to the challenge. How many more people are you willing to pull into this war? Is a win still a win as you stand on the destruction of everything you have left? For all that you hold dear, Ralph, this is the world parting the clouds and shining down upon you, trying to say you're walking down a path where there will no longer be any winners, just crueler and crueler losers. Stop ruining my show, man. Let's go back to somewhere no one's life gets ruined, but we all get to have fun being assholes and laughing. Your friendly neighborhood A-log, Christorian X.